I feel like those are the three things most people know me from, so I'm gonna stop there.
All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Alex Lee. I'm the English voice actor of That's What Singing Suit in Demon Slayer.
Yeah!
You can also know me as Mikey from Tokyo Revengers if you watch that show.
Woo!
I'm Thorfinn in Netflix's Vinland Saga. You're a fan of that too. That's pretty cool. And Luke from Street Fighter 6. So thank you so much. So let's talk about some Demon Slayer. Get back to your.
Where was I? Yes. Way back when I got this audition, I had heard of Demon Slayer, but I hadn't read any of the manga. So it's been kind of crazy to see the evolution of all of the characters, not just Nezuko, and like in a literal sense and also a figurative sense, because she literally transforms. She can grow, she can shrink. Like that is a really cool quality that I didn't anticipate in the character. And then it's always interesting to me when Nezuko speaks because it doesn't happen that often. But when it does, it's really powerful and really important.
People joke that you have the easiest job out of us four. but in her defense, growling is very hard.
It is hard.
Growling really is hard.
It's hard.
So, I want you guys to raise your hands if you've read the manga.
All of it?
Whoa.
Beginning to end.
This is a lot of manga readers. Okay. There's a lot of people who haven't read, so I'm gonna keep it spoiled.
Do not spoil.
Okay. So, as Abby was talking about when she first got the audition, she did not really read the manga. My first exposure to Demon Slayer was I saw a clip of Zenitsu in episode 12, I believe, when he first uses Thunder Breathing. And I was like, whoa, that's some cool animation. But who is this guy? He's ugly. He's not ugly, but I was like, it's a weird design. I've never seen hair drawn in that way before, you know? And I'm like, I don't know if I'm a big fan of the all yellow theme, but whatever. This is a weird looking kid. I relate. I'm a weird looking kid myself. In the first round of auditions, I initially did not get the audition for Demon Slayer.
That's right.
Yeah. So everybody did their audition, and then I was just there twiddling my thumbs the whole weekend, not even knowing that it was happening.
How did you find out?
I found out because my friend was like, "Did you submit for Demon Slayer?" And I was like, "What? what now?" So in a panicked frenzy, I contacted the casting director, who I knew personally. And I was like, "Hey, I know you have the show called Demon Slayer. Can I please audition for it?" She does not respond. So I messaged her the same exact email. Again, I'm like, please let me audition for it. So she comes back and she says, I'm so sorry, this is already due, but I can give you about 12 hours if you can get it to me by then. And I'm like, okay, I promise I can do it. So I get 3 characters to read for: Tanjiro, Inosuke, and Zenitsu. For Tanjiro, I was like, this is a main character. This is the big cheese. This is the guy. So I spent eight hours doing my audition for Tanjiro. I did it over and over, even though it sounded the same each time. I was like, Tanjiro has to be perfect. So I spent 8 hours in Tanjiro. I'm like, okay, who's next? This buff boar guy? He's pretty funny. So I'm like, oh, that's an interesting voice. I spend 4 hours and I scream and I blow my voice out. And then I look at the clock and I'm like, I have 1 minute left. And so with 1 minute, I'm like, who's this last guy? And then I'm like, ugh, I can't really speak because I blew my voice out. Whatever. And then I sent the audition in, and I'm like, I feel pretty good about the first 2 guys. Would you know it? Next morning I get an email that's like, you've been cast as Zenitsu. And I'm like, oh! No, that's not. Yeah! So, before I was like, that was weird that I did that. Now that I've grown a little bit more, I'm like, maybe it's the characters that come to you the most naturally. That's the ones that you
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Are you taking notes about how to be a voice actor? Don't do any of what he's doing.
People always come up to me and they ask, how do you get started? How do you be a voice actor? And I tell them this.
Not that.
I tell them, first they ask, how did you get into voice acting? And I was like, I don't know, man. One day I was eating udon and I thought it was cool. And then they're like, well, how did you do it? And I said, I went on Google.com and I searched how to be a voice actor. And that's it. So if you ever want to know anything, She has a library of resources in her mind that she can tell you right now.
Yes, in my mind, on a website
Right
called
now.
iwanttobeavoiceactor.com.
No joke, no joke. This is not a joke. There is
It's
really
real.
a website.
iwanttobeavoiceactor.com. Really great place to look for advice on how to be a voice actor.
Yeah, so that has kind of been our journey these past 3 years now, huh? It's been
a journey. Yeah, it has been a journey. Absolutely. And guys, don't be afraid. If you have any questions or anything, sub up to the
Oh, yes.
microphone.
So this is your one chance to ask.
Yeah, I was like, that was the time, y'all.
Darkest I was buying time for you guys.
Oh, thank you so much.
Hold it for her.
If you can give us your name and then a question, try to limit it to one question, please.
My name is Evie.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Great
I
Pokemon.
have one question. Do thunder clap and flash?
You want me to do it? All right.
Back up.
Wait, you
Back
never-
up the mic.
No. This is the Bible. Thunder breathing. First form. Thunderclap and flash. There you go.
Woo!
Usually people come up and they're like, "Dude, Nezuko," and I'm like, "Oh, I just woke up, man." Thank you. All right, next question.
Hi guys, my name is Aisha. It's nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you.
My question is, you guys have been voice actors for a long time, or for a while. I want to know, what is your most favorite memory throughout your journey?
Ooh.
Oh, that's hard. I have a lot. One of them is when I got to work on an episode of Animaniacs, when they brought
Ooh.
Animaniacs back. So I was a fan of Animaniacs growing up. I love Rob Paulson, Maurice LaMarche, all of them. And then when I got to record this episode, I thought I was just recording like by myself, you know, because they're the cast, and then like, who is this random new person who's gonna be? So I was expecting to just be recording by myself or with the other people. I was in the Jurassic Park spoof at the beginning of the show. I was Laura Dern's character. So I expected it would just be like us three, you know, the Steven Spielberg sound alike, and it was not. It was the entire cast together. So I'm standing next to Jess Harnell, and it was insane. And I was just like so starstruck that I don't even know. I think Jess Harnell could tell that I was just like, "Aw." But he was really nice to me, and it was really amazing. And that's an experience I'm never gonna forget because I never thought it was even possible, and then it happened.
It's a very sweet story.
Oh.
I have a lot of fond memories working in this career. One of them was when, for Demon Slayer, for episode 11, we went over to your house. So we didn't really know each other all that well before. When I was like, "Hey, I'd love to meet everybody and use this as an opportunity to like finally get to know each other, because this is the first episode we all appeared together." So I was like, "Hey Abby, can I come over and watch the show?" And she's like, "Of course." And then I show up with Bryce and Zach. And we're like, "Hey Abby, we're here to watch the show."
Sandy came too, right?
Xanthi was there too. Yeah, I brought a lot of people. Anyways, I probably should have let her know that beforehand. But we had a really great night, and that was kind of the first time we ever really spoke to each other. And that is a memory that I hold like very close to my heart. Now, enough of the sappy stuff. Funny memory. New York Comic Con 2021, I believe. We were there for a Demon Slayer panel. So, we're here in the lobby. There is an after party for, not an after party, but it's like a rooftop party for Demon Slayer. They have, it was during the movie trade period, so there were Rengoku shirts everywhere. There were Zenitsu shirts, Nezuko shirts. So, we come in, and the security guard's like, "Oh, hey," and we're like, no, we're the cast. It's, we got the badges right here. And he's like, "Oh, okay, give me 1 second. You guys can't come in." We're on the t-shirts. We're on the t-shirts. No, you can't come in. And then he just like lets other random people come in, and we're just standing there watching them go up the elevator. And we're like,
It was
"Who?"
really funny.
Yeah.
But also we were like, why though?
Why? What did we do to you, man? Yeah. So, luckily, some Funimation employees went down the elevator and they walked out and we were like, oh my God, please help us get in. I want to go get a t-shirt, but this guy won't let me get in. And she's like, oh, okay. And then she got us in, and then I was like, what happened? I just wanted my t-shirt.
And then we were in the party.
Yeah.
At the end.
That was it. That was a very memorable thing. Not entirely voiceover related, but close enough.
But it was hilarious.
That was tough, but at least got in here.
Yeah, I took as many t-shirts as I could. I took 2 Zenny t-shirts, I took a regular t-shirt. I'm like, I'm not walking out of here empty handed. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Hi, my name is Thais.
Hi.
My question is, for scenes where you have to do yelling or screaming, how do you prepare your voices for that?
Vocal warm-ups. There's not really a great way to prepare for screaming because it's gonna do damage kind of regardless. But warming up definitely helps. And there are ways of screaming that are less destructive than others that I've learned over the years.
Yeah, I think the best thing that I found is also, a lot of times anime sessions are running for 4 hours. So that's how many hours you're required to be in the booth and do the episode. But for me specifically, I knew that Zenitsu was going to be a character, especially in the beginning, that was going to really wear down on me. So I specifically requested them to cut it down to 2 hours so that I could save my voice and I could put more energy into my performance. And then I could come back the next day refreshed and like tackle it again. And I also drink a lot of water and a lot of like honey and substances. Yeah.
And then vocal rest afterwards is probably the
Go
most
home,
important.
you don't say anything, you just lay in bed. That's it. So there's no real way to prepare, but there is a way to take the load off after you do it. Yeah. So thank
Awesome.
you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello, my question is for Zenitsu. Would you like a sparrow?
A sparrow? You got a sparrow for me?
Can't you see them on their heads?
Oh!
Sparrows.
All right. A bit of information about me. I'm blind, guys. I'm wearing contacts right now. Thank you. You're covered. You're covered now.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, fun fact about this guy, Zenitsu Sparrow. Do you know who voices him?
Yeah.
They hired her for all the characters that don't speak English.
They're like, I don't know if Abby can talk so good. Let's
This will be our stand-in for Bryce right here. Thank you. Yeah. I did not see any of that. I'm blind. I can't see past right here. This is as far as I can see. So thank you for coming up. All right.
Hi, my name
Hello.
is Kenna, and I wanted to ask how you guys prepare for getting into your character. If there's anything you do to get into the character you voice.
I drive straight into a wall and freak out. Never do that. It's funny I say that because actually for the first season of Demon Slayer, episode 24, he has this big rant where he talks about women and thighs and other parts of women's bodies. But it's a big scene where he's very explosive. The day before that scene, and before I was supposed to record it, I got into a car accident that totaled my car. But that day I was going to my first ever anime convention. So the moment the police came up, they're like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "No, I have to go to an anime convention. I need to meet my fans, who I don't know if they'll be there, but I got it." Okay. So that day I went to a convention. I signed, my hands were shaking, and then I went home and I was like, "Isn't there somewhere I need to be?" Right, the hospital. So I went to the hospital that night, and they were like, "You should be careful because you got some chest trauma." I'm like,
Oh.
"Got it, doctor." I came into work the next day and I did the Zenitsu screaming scene.
So those of you who want to be voice actors, are you taking notes?
Yeah.
Don't do any of that. Don't do any of that.
Never do any of it. They worry about me because I am a mess.
I know, I'm like, is he gonna start yelling when he comes? Bryce, 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 Bryce.
This panel was really bad.
But just like the show, I show up right in the middle.
We don't need an introduction to this guy. You already know who he is.
Hello, everybody. I'm Bryce Pappenbrook, and I'm here on my layover in Las Vegas for the rest of the day.
Woo!
What a crazy weekend, guys.
Yeah, we were talking about it. It was like, we all woke up this morning at about 6 a.m.
What time did you wake up?
I got an extra hour.
That's why you got to sleep in.
That's why you're sane and we're not. An hour
Yeah.
difference.
Anyways, back to my car accident story.
I walked in at just the right time.
No. I was saying we have on the Demon Slayer commentary track. There's actually a story that Abby talks to you about Zach, and they bring up how Abby had to drive me around for Starbucks when I had no car after the car accident. And she's like, oh, yeah. He's like, oh, can you go get Starbucks? I'm like, I don't sound like that.
I was just real worried about you. Because you're like, he's a poor boy. He's a poor boy. I had to take care of him a little bit. So I took him for some Starbucks. And he's still alive. So.
Still alive. We're still going. We're still going.
Yeah.
Woo!
Do Abby and Bryce have anything that they do specifically to get into like their character for the show?
So for me, there's not really a specific. Usually before we do jumps, we'll listen to a voice reference. And for Nezuko, I always listen to her human voice, even if I don't have any lines in the episode or if it's just growling. I'll always listen to that human voice, and that's where she came from, and like that's her character underneath all of it, all the demon, all of everything. So I like to listen to the voice rep to remind myself of that, where she comes from.
Yeah, I have kind of an interesting ritual. First, and I don't do this for other shows. I don't know if you guys do this, but I warm up. It's kind of unique. I should teach you guys. So it involves getting in your car, sitting in traffic.
Not again.
This might have been part of the reason why his ended this way. So you get in the car, you sit in traffic, you pull up next to another driver, and you try to make eye contact. And then you laugh like you know skate like this. It was really nice. So that gets you to the studio, and then when you get to the studio, you make a really dark, disgusting cup of coffee. Like the kind that's like black tar in a cup, right?
Oh.
It's so bitter it makes you angry. And I have this black cup of death in the booth with me. Take a sip between every take, so I'm like, Which one is it?
I'm wondering, what did you guys turn in for the audition?
What was the question? Can you say it one more time?
What did you guys turn in for the audition for being the character?
Oh, what was our audition process like?
We had, we already explained a little bit of it earlier, but for auditions, we usually have 3 scenes that we have to do. And I remember yours, because I specifically spent 4 hours reading for
Inosuke?
Yeah. But Inosuke's scene was the very first time he crashed through everything, and he was like, coming through with a big laugh and everything. Do you remember the other scenes?
No, typically when I audition, I put everything into it and then I forget what I did. Because most of the time, you will not book the parts you audition for. If you get 1 out of 100, you're doing extremely well. So yeah, I just black it out of my mind. But I read for Inosuke and Tanjiro, and yeah, can't complain.
I'm surprised they didn't have you read for Zane's.
They did not.
Yeah.
They did not. Yeah, I'm surprised too, because I screamed.
Screamy boy.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a different type of script.
True, but you know what? I really think that they got the casting right. You handle that screaming and that insanity so incredible.
That's how I feel about him. He does this voice all day, and I'm like, I would probably blow my whole lungs out if I try to do that. So it's same with Abby, where I'm like, if I did the growling, I'm done for it.
Oh yeah, that's rough.
Only one episode was like really, really rough. Because
Which one?
most of the time it's like a fight for a bit and then it's over, right? The Daki fight.
Oh,
Oh.
she growled through like the
That was rough.
20 minutes
Yeah.
of growling there.
20 minutes of growling. Feral growling.
Did you audition for Chuntaro?
No.
They just knew that you could do that?
That's what I was
It was just known.
I think so. I do a lot of creature voices, weirdly. Yeah.
Have you
And
played
animals.
birds before?
Have I? I don't think so. Yeah, but they were just like, can you do this voice? And I was like, yes, please. Can I be a bird? Can I yell at Zenitsu? Yes, please. Yeah, so that was cool, just to like get the part. I auditioned for Nezuko and Inosuke, and it was really
Oh, right.
cool.
Oh, nice. It was a close call. I was in the room when they were making the decisions.
I really wanted Inosuke. Just kidding, I didn't do that.
Oh.
I auditioned for Nezuko. And the story I like to tell is I had two scenes. One was when it's in the first episode where she's talking to Tanjiro and he's about to head out. And she's talking about putting Rokuta down for a nap. Yeah. And then the second scene was feral growling when she's transforming into a demon. And so I did all of this in my closet at the time. That was my audition booth. And I had just adopted a little baby kitten, and he was horrified when I came out. He did not know what was happening. He was like cowering in the bathroom in the corner, and I felt so bad. But then I booked it, so it was worth it.
Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Dan. I have a quick question for everyone. What is the hardest part about playing your specific character when it comes to voicing them?
And we got quick answers. Starting with you, Bryce.
Inosuke speaks in screaming.
Growling.
Zenitsu speaking and screaming.
Screaming, growling, screaming.
Look, we got very hard jobs. No, in particular, I think it's always, for me, is to match the mouth movements because they're so sporadic and he talks so fast. I used to not be.
He can close his mouth.
No,
It's
it's
just
so terrible. But I used to not be a very fast talker. But 3 years of this grueling training has prepared me for the best. But that is definitely the hardest thing for me is to.
And I am the opposite because I'm just matching the snout movement. So I have a lot of
You have a lot of freedom. You have a lot of freedom.
Yeah.
Same with you with your
Bamboo.
Sometimes
Yeah.
it doesn't even move.
That's right. Most of the time, actually.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So personally, I work a job with a really high burnout rate. What's the burnout rate on your guys' jobs?
Ooh. Burnout.
Burnout rate.
Ooh, this is a
Statistically, I've
serious
never
question.
So like, are you asking of people who have booked work and are active as like working actors, or just like anyone who's entered the field trying to establish themselves and then just giving up because it's not going?
Because as an actor, there's a different sentiment when it comes to burnout. Like, for example, all of us, we work a lot and we go do these conventions a lot. And when we experience burnout, it may not necessarily be because, oh, work isn't going well. It's more so, oh, there's too much to keep up with. So we naturally just get very tired and we kind of lose our, fire. So that's the kind of burnout that actors experience. And I know a lot of us experience it a lot if we don't have like family or friends or like a common ground to keep us grounded and also revitalize their energy.
Yeah, the life of an actor is a lot of ups and downs. It's like feast or famine. So I've watched people go through those ups and downs. So I'm always very appreciative for when things are going very well, and I have that problem of being too busy. You just can't split yourself out. So yeah, it's all about taking care of yourself and having fun with it.
Drinking lots of coffee, lots
And water.
of coffee.
Lots of dark, disgusting coffee.
Disgusting coffee is like what I live
Thank
off
you.
of.
That's a really interesting question.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Another one. Whoa, all of us.
Hi, my name is Remy. My question is for all of you guys. What has been your favorite show to voice act in so far?
Ooh.
Favorite show.
As in, like, the most fun we've had?
Yes.
Oh, that's such a hard one. I think, For me, maybe Carmen Sandiego on Netflix, because I got to record with the group, and that's always
We don't get to
so
do
much
that.
fun. When you get to
Yeah.
work with other actors, when you dub, we're dubbing by ourselves. You can talk to the director and the engineer, but you don't get to interact with your other fellow actors. But when we recorded Carmen, we got to record together, and I don't know if anyone's seen the show. I have a brother in the show named Zach, and he's voiced by Mikey Hawley. And Mikey is one of the funniest people I've ever met in my life. So we would just be making each other laugh, sometimes to our detriment. Like we'd be like, okay, we have to record now. We'd just be like laughing at each other. But it was one of my favorite projects for sure. Super fun.
I have a hard time choosing a
Look,
favorite.
he's done so much.
He won the anime lottery.
His IMDb is longer than if you were to put my life down in writing.
I feel like you work really, really hard to get cast as any character and they become like a part of you, like your kids that live in your head. And a lot of my kids are crazy, and I just don't want to do that. I can't choose.
The safe answer is, if we're talking about anime, the most fun I've had is working on this show with these guys. We don't get to record together, but I see the effort they put into it, and it always makes me laugh, and always makes me smile. Now, the non-safe answer of your kids, put your hands over your ears, okay? That includes you.
Oh.
All right, my anime watchers, there's a show out there called Rent a Girlfriend.
Oh. I was gonna say.
Kazuya. The show is a little raunchy, but at this point, I know the production people and the director so well that nowadays, I just go in and we don't even have a script. I just say whatever. And they're like, sure, keep it. And I'm like, all right. We have a few episodes where I go in and I go, blah, blah, blah. Oh, what's up? And then they're like, keep it. Print it. Nice. All right, kids, close your ears for this one. There's a new episode where I say the word post-nut clarity.
Oh my God.
That too. So that is a very fun show for me to work on. It's a guilty pleasure to work on it, just as it's a guilty pleasure to watch for a lot of people. So thank you.
All right, we got, real quickly, we've got about 10 more minutes of questions here, so let's kick up the speed round. Yeah. Yep.
My name is Cara. My question is, like, if you could change your character, who would you rather be?
You get to swap with somebody?
All right, you go first.
I want to be one of the crows. And then avoid it in Noah's case so he doesn't eat me.
Oh yeah.
I would be maybe Shinobu.
Yeah.
I would be Tengen Uzui.
Woo!
Because we have 3 wives. No, because he's cool. He's cool, I like him a lot. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Suzanne. My question is for Bryce. Out of
Yes.
all the roles you've done, which one's your favorite?
I mean, I don't have a good answer for this one.
You know what you have to say.
Right, as you look me in my face. In that costume.
She heard it and she asked it. She asked it for a reason. You know what to say.
Aaron Yeager.
They're all listening to this. They're all inside here. I'm trying to get
Make it to his signing today. We're going to put that on hold for now.
Yeah, I mean, really just look at my Wikipedia page. Like, that's my
Okay.
I'm enjoying myself, having a good time. Like, they're all special. And yeah, I'm excited for lots of screaming to come.
Thank you. That's the most non-political answer I've ever heard.
I guess another good answer would be, oh yeah, the guy who screams and has swords.
Yeah.
All right, tripped out Tanjiro, hit us with it.
Hey guys, my name is Winfred. First I'd like to say thank you guys. Thank all of you guys for providing my love for everything. I'll explain more later. But my question is for Bryce. So you got to be on Sword Art, Attack on Titan, and now Demon Slayer. So
Yeah.
What's the story like? How did you get those roles, or did it just happen on an accident somehow?
It's called talent.
Hard work, dedication,
Well,
100.
It's been over a decade that I've been Kirito, and I
Shit.
auditioned for the
Oh
role
my gosh.
and was cast.
Sorry.
Then I auditioned for Eren for an entirely different studio in a different state. In fact, that was my very first audition for Funimation. I was a fan of the show. I knew what that show would take, and I could barely talk after my audition. In fact, I didn't have the booth I have now. I think my neighbors might have called the cops. So whatever I put into that moment came through and resonated with an entirely different person. And the same thing for Demon Slayer. There was just something there that connected my voice to the character, and an entirely different casting director and team. So I literally just won the anime lottery. Yeah.
Woo!
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Speed round.
Okay, sorry, I talked too much.
It's okay.
It's always a problem for me. Nice shirt.
Hi, my name is Jose. My question is for Bryce. So from playing Eren Yeager and then in Inosuke, would you say it's hard for you to change your mood, your tone and your voice from going from brooding to being all excited and stuff?
I mean, there's this unique texture to my voice that I think kind of shines through in all my characters, but I really tried to give each one something unique. This previous season of Attack on Titan and the Entertainment District, they were recorded at the same time, and sometimes I had the sessions back to back, meaning I was screaming as Eren and then screaming as Inosuke in the same day. But no, I try to keep them unique from each other. The way Eren speaks, especially in this season, is not the way Inosuke speaks, but they are both me. So you might hear certain things that cross, but they're definitely different characters.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hi, my name is Jay. I have a question for all of you. So when a character dies or retires from Tengen, is it as emotional for you guys as it is for us as fans?
I've seen the movie Train movie.
Wait, what?
A lot of
The
people.
train.
Okay.
Oh, right.
I almost cried. This is like my first time I ever almost cried in the theater. And then it was this beautiful scene where it cut between like a flashback of his mother and everything. It's so beautiful. And then it cuts to Zenitsu crying, Tachio crying, Inosuke crying, Nezuko crying. And then it cuts to the crow, and the crow is crying too, and I could not hold in my laughter! It ruined it for me! I saw that crow and I was like, that's hilarious! No, that was, I get pretty attached to these characters, and then, when you see them in the theaters and you get the sound blasted in your ear, you get very emotional, but they almost got me there. They decided to put that crow in last minute.
Yeah, I find like it is very emotional, and it's like also the demons and the Hashira, like it doesn't matter. It's just there's such powerful moments. You can empathize with like all of the characters, and yeah, I find it's really, really emotional show. I teared up yesterday. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. I don't know if you guys know, but yesterday we were at a red carpet for the beginning of To the Swordsmith Village, which is really exciting. Watching it on the big screen is definitely the way to do it, and it like when you're with an audience like that, you kind of feed off each other. So it's really fun, and in the emotional moments, like you feel that too. So I was getting misty. Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you. We're not as angry as our characters.
I love your Nezuko kimono. So cute. It's okay.
It's okay.
Her name is Elena, and she's a Nezuko, but she wanted to ask a question for all of you. She wanted to ask, how long do you guys stay in the studio, like for
Like a recording session? How long of a recording session do you guys have?
For me, it varies a lot. So for episodes like the fight with Naki, I think I had a 2-hour session for that one. Typically we're booked at 2-hour sessions or 4-hour sessions. But for Nezuko, there's a lot of episodes where she just pops in at the end for a Taisho secret, goes, and that's it. So I would be there for 5 minutes, and then I'm done.
That was like me on some days of the first season. Actually, Zenitsu's very first ever appearance was in an earlier episode, in episode 7. And when they initially cast me, I was very nervous because there's 10 episodes without him. And I was like, why am I not getting called into work? What's going on? Did they fire me? So then, when they finally called me in for the one line, I was like, okay, I'm here. I've been practicing. And then there was one line, and I did it in 5 minutes. And they're like, no, you're good. You can go. I said, oh, are you gonna call me back, guys? And I spent another 2 months waiting to come back again. And the whole time before it aired, I was like, did they replace me? Somebody help me, did they replace me? So yeah, it varies a lot. But nowadays, it's typically 2 hours or less for me, just because we do a lot of screaming. So I gotta keep my voice a little bit more, monitored.
Yeah, same. And sometimes, like in other shows, you're not one of the main cast, and you might play a bunch of different characters. And I've had days where I go in and I'm a character, and then he blows up, and I'm like, wait, is he gone? And that's the end of that character. And then they skip 10 episodes, and you play another character, and he blows up. And we're like, wait, is that the end? And they're like, yep, bye, and that's it. Good day of work.
Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you. Absolutely. Please, guys, give it up for Alex, Abby.
Well, I believe we're all heading back to our tables.
Yep.
Yeah. So if you did get to ask us a question, please come up, hang out, and have a great time, guys. Thank you.
So this is my first time in Vegas for a convention, so thank you guys.